we're going to look at the equation of a straight line graph. So all vertical straight line graphs have a formula or equation that can be written in a very specific form. So some of you who have done this in class may already know this, but can anyone tell me what the equation is for a straight line graph? Who is feeling brave? We haven't spoken about it together, but some of you may have done it in class already. I'll give you a hint. It starts with y is equal to. That might help some of you. So I'm looking for something here. Okay, so Sunday, that's very, very close. Very close. You're giving me a very specific graph. I want like a general straight line graph.
We have Sinetemba. Maybe Sinetemba can help.
Can you help us? What equation do we have?
Y equals mx plus c.
Look at you, little genius. Thank you very much. While you're on the line, do you think you can help me with what these letters mean?
Okay.
Okay, what does this M stand for that's before this X?
Gradient.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk a bit more about the gradient just now. And what does the C stand for?
Y.
The Y what?
Y axis.
Oh, so close. Y. Starts with an I.
Y intercept.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go. Nice job. We got there. We got there. Awesome. Okay, so that C is going to be the Y intercept. Okay, so I'm actually going to take the equation over here that Asande wrote in the chat. And they said Y is equal to 2x plus 1. Okay, so if I look at that equation, do you see how that 2 over there, that's in the same place as my M? So that would be my gradient. So in this green equation, my gradient would be 2. And in this green equation, my y-intercept would be plus 1. Okay, so that's how we would use an equation to figure out two different things. Now, when we are looking for a gradient, there are lots of different ways that we can find it. And I'm going to write all the different ways so that you've got it and you can take a picture of this. And then all your schools may use a different road, but you've got it all together here. So you know which ones we're talking about. Okay, so whenever we're talking about gradient, we talk about M. And some people will write it like that, okay, which looks crazy. So it's a triangle Y and then a triangle X. But all that actually means, it's a shorthand way of writing the change of Y over the change of X. So that little triangle is telling us that we're talking about the change of something, okay? But most of your schools, I think, would write it like this. They'll say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so when we're looking for our gradients, these are the things that we're really going to focus on. So just want you to make sure that you are super happy with this. Just going to highlight it there for a second. We are going to be playing with this equation quite a lot today. And so if you would like to take a screenshot, this would be the time.
Your moment to shine, guys. Let's go. Take the screenshots.
If anyone is not understanding what you're seeing on the screen, please just let me know. Okay. Cool. Let's jump right in.
Yep, people got this.
Okay.
Oh,
Kotatsu. Okay, you know what sometimes happens is when we start going through the questions, sometimes things start falling into place. So I'm going to go through this next one with you all very slowly. I'm going to talk you through it, and then I'm going to let you try one after it. And hopefully after that, some things will have fallen in place. Okay, so those of you who are feeling a little bit confused, just listen really, really carefully while I work through this first example. Okay. Okay. So what we have here is we have a straight line graph, and we have got 2 points. So remember in your lesson on Tuesday, Coco was saying you only need 2 points to draw a graph. It's the same with finding the equation of the graph. If we have 2 points, we can find the equation of a graph. Okay, So we've got 2 points that are happening over here, and we need to put them into the equation y equals mx plus c. So we need to figure out that equation. All right. We're going to start by finding our gradient. Okay, so we are going to start by finding our gradient. That m, that stands for gradient. Can someone tell me what a gradient is? Because it seems like a bit of a foreign word, like a weird word. What is a gradient? What is a gradient of a graph? Who can tell it to me in a sort of a more sensible word? What is the gradient of a graph? You can give me any word that you think would be easier to think of.
Let's go, my people. Woo! I've
Let's
heard.
see.
I'll have to change your name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
iPhone, hello.
Hi, ma'am.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Can you give me some other words for what a gradient is?
Ma'am, I think like a gradient is another word for a slope.
Beautiful.
Yay.
Good, good. Okay, so your gradient is like your slope or your steepness. So basically it's telling us how steep is my graph. Okay, that's what we're looking for when we look for a gradient. And we've just learned that the formula we're going to use to find the gradient is the change of y over the change of x. Okay, so I'm going to show this to you step by step, and then I'm going to let you try the next one all by yourselves. Okay. At the moment, we've got this point over here. We know that that is something important. Who can tell me why that 2 is important? Why is that 2 important? What's important about that blue mark that I've just highlighted? It's got a very special name.
Let's go, my people.
Don't panic if you haven't done it at school yet. Don't worry, we'll go through this slowly. Bokamoso, yes. Can you tell me what's important about that blue dot?
Ma'am, isn't it a co-ordinate or
Is the coordinate? Are you saying the coordinate is 0?
yes, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely. My x coordinate is 100% 0 at that point, 100%. So this point over here, when we have a line that's crossing our y-axis, so that's my y-axis over there, it makes that point over there our y-intercept. Okay, so our y-intercept is when our graph intercepts or crosses the y-axis. Okay, and at that y-intercept, our x value would be 0. So that means that the coordinates at this point would be 0 and 2 because it is the y-intercept. All right. Now, what I like to do at this point is I like to label them. But you don't have to do this. If you are still in the beginning stages, I do recommend you do it because it really helps. It makes sure you don't make a mistake. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is going to be x1 and y1. You could have said x2 and y2, it doesn't matter. And then up here, I'm going to say that that's x2 and y2. But wherever your 2's are, they need to be in the same place, and your y's need to be in the same place because they're like a married couple. They need to stay together. Okay. Then to find our m, all we're going to do is we're going to put that information into our equation. So I need y2, that's that one over there. So that's going to be 2 minus y1, which is that one over there. So -6 over, let's take our next one. Now I need x over x. So I'm going to say x2, which is 0, minus x1, which is -2. Okay, so all I've done is I've put into the equation my x's and my y's. Let's now just sort out these negatives. When we have 2 negatives together like that, they are going to become a positive. So that's going to become 2 plus 6 over 0 plus 2. 2 plus 6 gives me 8. 0 plus 2 gives me 2. And 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. Okay, and so that's telling me what my gradient is. So at this point, if I had to look at my equation, okay, let's just jump back straight. Let's jump back to this guy up here. We've just found m. So now that's going to be y is equal to 4x plus c. So now all we need to figure out is that c value over there. But does anyone remember what that c value was? Let's pop up here quickly. That c value is our y-intercept. Do we have our y-intercept? Is it there? Can anyone see it? Without having to do any working out, could someone tell me what my c value would be? Let's see.
Okay, Bokamoso is on the line.
Beautiful. Bokamoso, can you tell me what my c value would be?
Ma'am, isn't our C value going to be 0?
Okay, so it's not going to be 0. My x value would be 0 there. What's my y value where it crosses that y-axis?
Isn't going to be 2?
Yes, exactly. Good. It's going to be 2. Okay, so basically your y-intercept is wherever your graph crosses this y-axis. That's my y-axis. Okay, and so that's my y-intercept, and our y-intercept is c. Okay, and it's going to be our y value at that point, in which our case that's a 2. So we're going to say y is equal to 4x plus 2, and that is our full equation. Then we've done the entire thing. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through how we start this again. We always work with the equation y equals mx plus c. Then we're going to look for our gradient. Okay, and for our gradient, we're going to use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And if it helps, you are welcome to label those points like that to try and give yourself a little bit of a helping hand. Once you have found your gradient, that's our m value over there. Okay, so that was a 4x. And then our c value is going to be our y-intercept. And so we're just going to take whatever number was our y-intercept. Okay, if you'd like a photo of this, you're welcome to take one. The next one, I want you to give you sort of, I'll put a few things on the screen to give you a few helping hands, but I want you to give the next one a go by yourselves. Okay, so this is a good time to take a picture. And if you have a question, I'd love to hear any questions that you have about what you're currently seeing.
So remember, guys, that if you are confused, like Teacher Jan said, please do write down where you're getting confused, or you can raise your hand. Now is your time. If you can't hear, oh, they can't hear anything. Okay, I'll sort you guys out.
Yeah, they won't be able to hear that. Don't panic if you're feeling confused, especially if this is one of your first few lessons in straight lines and you haven't done it in class yet. Don't panic. I'll put a few helping hands on the next question to give you a go. But when it comes to maths, the most important thing is to give it a try. So don't ever look at a question and be like, I can do nothing. Always give it a try, because if we can figure out where you're going wrong, it's much easier for us to help. Tatso, can I help a little bit? I see your hand is up there. Hi.
Ma'am, I'm wondering, how did you get y for x plus c?
How did I get the y is equal to 4x plus c? That over there?
Yes.
Okay, so when we were looking for our gradient, so all of this part over here is finding our m value. That's the m value over there. And so once we found out that m value, we were allowed to put it in there, because in our equation, that's where our m normally goes.
Oh, ma'am. Oh.
Make sense?
And the y equals 4x plus 2. Where did you get the 2?
Okay, so that 2 is our y-intercept, and so that's that value where it crosses our y-axis. And so that 2 over there became my c value.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for asking. Okay, Cool. All right, let's give one a go. Let's see how this one goes. Okay, so I'm going to write a couple of helping hands. It depends, where at the beginning when you're first learning this section, they might give you sort of 4 marks for a question like this, but by the end of the year, it'll probably only be worth 2. Okay, so I'm going to write a couple of things here to help you. I'm going to write your original formula. We are wanting to find M and we're wanting to find C. And I'm going to also write here M is equal to Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Okay. And I'm going to help you a little bit with these coordinates. So that would be 0 and 3. And remember, whenever we have coordinates, it's always our X value first and then our Y value. So let's make that X1 and Y1. And this would be X and Y. So let's make that X2 and Y2. Okay, so how do you determine which ones it is? It doesn't matter as long as they're together. So what I mean by that is as long as both of your 1s are together and both of your 2s are together, you can choose. So I could have just as easily made this X, oh goodness, sorry, I'm in highlight mode still. I could have just as easily made that X2 and Y2 and X1 and Y1. It doesn't matter. You can always flip them around, and as long as the pairs are together. Okay, so give this one a go. If you are sort of struggling through specific parts about it, just ask and we can go from there. So the reason that they are zeros is because these points over here, let's just kind of go to them. These points over here are both intercepts. Okay, so this point over here is our x-intercept. So that means it's where our line crosses our x-axis. And when it crosses our x-axis, our y value would be 0. And that point over there would be our y-intercept. And where our line crosses our y-axis, our x value would be 0. Namaza, can I help?
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, for my gradient, I got -1/2.
A negative sounds good, and the half also sounds good for the moment, so I think you're on a good track.
My initial answer was y is equal to -1/2x plus 3.
That sounds great.
Okay,
You're smashing this. Nice job.
thank you.
Unati, hello.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm tired, but I wanted to ask a question. So since all the numbers here are positives, so do where by the part where it says y2 minus y1, do I just say 3 plus bracket 0 or what?
So I would say, so when we're working out this m value over here, I would say y2 is 3 minus y1, which is 0.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because that would be my y2 and that would be my y1.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Okay. Yes, hello.
Can I answer?
I think I'm gonna go through these ones just in the beginning while everyone's learning, but when we get later on in the lesson, then absolutely okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Thanks, sweetheart. Okay, I'm gonna go through the gradient, guys, and so sort of let me know how this part went. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk through this nice and slow. My gradient is y2 minus y1. So y2 is 3 minus y1, which is 0, over x2, which is 0 minus 6. Okay. 3 minus 0 is 3. 0 minus 6 is negative 6. And if we put that in our calculator to simplify, we'll get negative 1 over 2. That is my m value. That is that value over there. Okay, so right now my equation is y is equal to negative a half x plus c. I would like to know who managed to get that m value. If you got that m value, I want to give yourselves 2 marks. Who managed to get that m value? Who made silly mistakes along the way? Who is sort of figuring things out a little bit still? Give me a little. Oh, you mixed them around. Don't worry, that happens to the best of us. That's why sometimes labeling like this really helps, where we put X and then Y. It sometimes really helps. So Sipo, well done. 2 marks in the bag. Nice.
Well done, guys.
Nolan Wabo, yes. Can I help?
Ma'am, can I ask how did we get the -6?
Okay, so we just put it into this formula up here, where we had x2 minus x1. So that's my x2, and then I'm minusing x1. So I'm saying 0 minus 6.
Oh,
Makes sense?
okay, ma'am. Now I see.
Good, good.
Thank you.
No problem. Guys, and that's why we say ask questions. If you ask questions, then we can help you. We don't want you to be sitting at home feeling lost and confused. Okay,
Like
so now,
there.
yeah, don't worry.
So do not worry.
It'll be okay. Okay, now the last part of this is we have to figure out this plus c. And remember that plus c is our y-intercept. Okay, and I've even labeled it on this graph over here. So what number do you think that y-intercept is going to be? Have a look. Yes. Rita, yes. Good. Yes. I'm seeing lovely answers coming through here. Okay, our y-intercept is 3. It's crossing our y-axis at 3, which means that my equation is going to be y is equal to a half x plus 3. And that's, give yourself some mark there. Don't panic. Remember, just try and do it step by step. So literally sort of one step at a time. So the first thing that we did was we looked for our m value, and all we did for that m value is we put it into this formula. That's all we did. So we just substituted in our y values and we substituted in our x values to find our m value. Once we had that m value, we popped it into our equation over there. And then we said, well, what is our y-intercept? And that was our y-intercept. And so that was our 3. Oh, Shaden, she's just very cold. She's just very, very cold. She is here.
I'm here. Just cold.
Just
but
cold.
I'm here.
Trying to warm herself up a little bit.
Yeah.
Neo, good. I'm glad. And those of you who are feeling still lost, just remember, one step at a time, baby steps. In the next question, if you land up doing one thing that you couldn't do in the last one, that's progress. Okay. So, how can I help?
Ma'am, I have a question for plus c. Do we always get the answer from the y intercept?
Yes. So sometimes they don't give us the y-intercept, and so we have to do something different, which we'll look at a little bit later in the lesson. But if they've given you the y-intercept, it'll just be that number. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, Tracy. You can 100% write y1 minus y2, as long as at the bottom you also write x1 minus x2, then it's fine. All right. I want you guys to give this one a go. I'm going to write the same helping hands up here. So I'm going to say y is equal to mx plus c. And remember, we're looking for m and we're looking for c. M is our gradient and c is our y-intercept. When we're looking for our gradient, it's the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's what we have to find. And the coordinates down here would be 0 and -1, because that is our y-intercept. Okay. So up here, this is our end goal. We're wanting to be able to fill in y equals mx plus c. This equation will help you find m. And then we've got these two sets of coordinates. So I'm just gonna, for those of you who are still feeling a little bit lost, I'm just gonna label them for you and see if that helps a little bit. Okay, so use what I've just labeled to try and find your m value. Okay, so how do we know if it's the y-intercept? We know it's the y-intercept if the point is on our y-axis. So where our line cuts our y-axis, that's the y-intercept. Let me just write that under here.
You guys are doing so well. I'm so proud of all of you. And remember that if you didn't watch the last videos, please do watch it this whenever you have time this weekend. Like this, you can catch up.
And we spoke quite a lot about intercepts in our lesson last week, Thursday. So if you're feeling a little bit confused about intercepts, then the lesson from last week, Thursday, will be a good one to watch. Okay, Intando, can I help?
Ma'am, can I try answering?
Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to, don't drop your hand. I'm going to mute you. I'm just going to see if the other two are questions. Otherwise, I'm going to come back to you to answer. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Namaza, do you have a question?
Sorry. I'm not sure if it's a question or an answer, but like for my answer, I got y is equal to minus 3x plus open bracket -1 close bracket.
Okay, well, we'll see if that's the same answer that Intando got when he takes us through this. Okay, but thank you very, very much. Thank you. Okay, Bungum Sano. I have messed up your name, sweetheart. I know it in my heart, but how can I help?
Ma'am, I just wanted to answer, but Tando can answer.
Yeah, God, they stuck there before you, right? Everyone was so keen to get this one right. Okay, Tando, we're all yours. Can you talk us through what to do?
Okay, ma'am, first what you do is you minus, okay, it's what's this? 5. M is equal to 5 minus where's this? -1. No. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
What I wrote was -1 minus 5. That's
Beautiful.
what I wrote.
That's great. I like that. Okay.
1. Sorry. Divided by -2 minus 0.
Okay, so now we have to be careful. So because we did our -1 first over here, we would have to do our 0 first. So we would need to say 0 minus -2.
Oh.
Do you see that? So
I
because
see
we
that
did
now.
y2 first over here, we have to do x2 first at the bottom. Make sense?
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
ma'am.
I'm going to carry on taking this through from here, but thank you so much for getting us started.
No problem, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well done.
Nice. Okay, so what we land up with over here is -1 minus 5 is -6. And then down at the bottom, we're going to have 0 plus 2 because those two negatives make a plus. So that's going to give us -6 over 2, which gives us -3. Okay. So be careful, make sure that it's a negative. I'm seeing some answers with the 3, so but just make sure it's -3. Okay, so once we have m, that's a good start. Now We just need our y-intercept. And our y-intercept is that point over there. What was our y-intercept? Yes, Unati, what is my y-intercept?
Ma'am, your y-intercept is -1.
Yes. Okay, so how am I going to write this equation? What's it going to look like? Y is equal to?
-3x minus 1.
Beautiful.
Well done, girl.
Nice. Well
Ma'am.
done. Well done. Okay, I see
Ma'am,
a couple of people in the chat.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, I wanted to ask, do you have to write the step of -6 divided by 0 plus 2?
No, 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 no. You can jump straight to the answer here. I'm just showing every step so people know where it's coming from.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure.
Well
Buttercup,
done, my
yes.
people.
Latabo, yes. Well done.
Well
Okay.
done.
When you're writing this, I saw a couple of people in the chat writing their answers like this. Okay, just be careful. We're not allowed to have two signs together like that. And so then we have to think, if these two signs were in a fight with each other, which one of those signs would win? And so if we have a plus next to a negative, the negative always wins. And so that's why we would write this as -3x minus 1. So the negative sign beats out the positive. Okay, we're not allowed to have two signs together like that. Nice job, guys. You're doing super, super well. Hopefully those of you who are feeling lost are feeling a little bit better, which is awesome.
I'm proud
Progress.
of my people.
Yeah. I think let's do a quick brain break though, because it's already past 50. So let's jump down to the brain break. I'm so
Mr.
sorry. Apparently our 24, I'd given you the same one last week, and I'm so
yes.
sorry.
Everyone
My
was
bad.
saying that.
I
There we
know.
go. We have Mr. Brian now.
Mr. Brian is back. Okay. This one's a really easy one though. So for those of you who don't know how 24 works, there are 4 numbers. You have to use each number, but you're only allowed to use each number once, and you're allowed to use any form of operation. So multiply, divide, plus or minus. Okay. And I need to get the answer 24. This one's a really easy one. It'll be super quick. And then I've got a dingbat for you, which I think you might struggle a little bit with, but we'll see. Did anyone land up getting the dingbat on Tuesday? Did anyone get Toy Story by themselves?
Yeah, they did. Teacher Coco gave us a hint that it was a movie. It's the name of a movie.
And then people
But
got
yeah,
there.
they got it.
Nice, nice. Okay, so this is your 24 for today. Let's see who can get it the quickest. Nice job, Kira.
Let's go, Brenda. I see you. Whoa, Maya, do you have it?
Maya.
Whoa.
Ma'am, I think since 5 times 5 is 25.
Uh-huh.
And then -1 equals to 24.
Oh, it's so close. The problem with that, so you get your answer, is that you've ignored this guy over here.
Oh,
You haven't shown that for any love. You were just like, nah, Fo, I don't care about you.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, poor dude.
Well done, though, Maya. You
Yeah,
got
nice job,
those.
Maya. Let's see. Kira, have you got an answer for me?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'm ready.
So 4 times 5 is 20.
Nice.
And then you add 5 and you plus 5 minus 1.
Yes,
Well
20
done,
plus 5
Kira.
minus 1.
Thank you,
Woohoo!
ma'am.
Nice, nice, nice. Well done. I told you guys these would get easier in time. Did anyone do it a different way? Do we have anyone who did it a slightly different way? Just curious.
I think I saw it on the charts. It was a little bit different. No.
Same. Lichle, I see that hand up. Did you do it in a different way for us?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, it is 5 minus 1 times 5 plus 4.
So 5 minus 1,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then times 5 plus 4. Nice. Yes, beautiful.
Well done.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, cool. So that was your 24 for the day. Next one is your dingbat. So for today, the dingbat is not a movie. It is a phrase. So it's like a sentence that that people would say. It's a phrase. Okay. Let's see. What phrase am I looking for?
Let's go, my people.
Angry? Namaza.
Sorry, are you looking for emo?
No, I'm not looking for emo.
Okay, that's all I had.
That's very creative, Namaza. Well done.
Oh, sorry. I think I muted. I muted you, Linda, by mistake.
Yeah, you muted.
I'm so sorry.
By mistake.
Oh, okay. Kira.
Hello, ma'am. I'm going to guess emotional storm.
No, not emotional storm. No. Depressed, mixed emotions. No.
Brain freeze.
Brain freeze. No. Emotional change. No. Maya.
Ma'am, I think this is emotions. No, I don't think it's right actually, but I'm just gonna say it. Emotions speak louder than words.
No. No. Okay, so some of you are actually getting really close in the chat, but you haven't got the full phrase. So you've got some of it, and then you just need like one next part of it.
Someone says mood swings. I can't.
It's a phrase. It's not raining cats and dogs, but some of you are very, very close.
Oh,
When days are dark, friends are few. No, we're not going that dark, guys. Okay, so until koto, you're very, very close. Very close, but like there's something that's missing.
Mashatsi, when I give it a try, Mashatsi's on the line.
Sinatemba's gotten it.
Yay!
Yes.
Well done.
Good. I'm feeling. That's the emotion. Feeling under the weather. Feeling under the weather. Woo! We got there.
We got there.
Use
So teacher,
Google. Alea. Yes.
nice.
Speak.
Before we move on, can we, if when we move on, can we please go to number C so Tulufelo can take a screenshot?
Yes,
Tulufelo would
absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
the corrections for C, please.
Okay, we got there though, guys. We did very well. Okay, let me quickly pop up to C, and then we're going to do one more that's like this, and we're going to try a different equation, and then we're going to call it a day, and you're going to do your quiz.
Tulufelo, please take a screenshot, okay? You won't have time to write everything down. Just take a screenshot and then we can move on. Okay.
Okay, so for this one, I'm not going to help as much. Yeah, I'm sitting on the bed today. So I am very comfortable. I'm not going to give you any help for this one. You've now got stuff written on your books, so you should be able to do this from scratch. All I'm going to do is the only thing I'm going to write is y equals mx plus c. And I would like you guys to work through this. And I would love, once you have your answers, to pop your answers in the chat for me, so I can see if you are on the right thing. Yes, exactly, because emotion is written under the weather. Exactly. Mikle, what you got there? Let's see who can get this one right.
So there was so many people asking on the chat, what is the M? Why do we have an M?
The M is your gradient. Okay, and your gradient is how steep your graph is. So like if I have a gradient like that, then that's less steep. And if I have a gradient like that, then that's more steep. So it's telling us how steep our graph is, and if it's a positive steepness or if it's a negative steepness. So it's just telling us about that line. So yeah, if you like, when it comes into physical science, yes, your gradient does act as your rate. Yeah, because it's the change of how something happens. Unati, is this hand up for an answer already?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm keep your hand up. I'm gonna mute you, but I'll let you go through this in just maybe 2 minutes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Tati, so Tati, we asked if you can please tell us where you're getting confused, and Teacher Jan will be glad to assist you, and I will also be glad and happy to assist you on the chat, as long as you tell me where are you getting confused. Okay.
Absolutely. So Sisipo, you can choose which one is X and Y. Just remember that when we have coordinates, our X value always happens before our Y value. So you can choose which one here you want to be X1 and Y1 and which one you want X2 and Y2. It's up to you. I normally just do whatever's like on top, but it's like, let's say that was X1 and Y1, then this would be X2 and Y2. So you can choose however you want to label them.
I'm giving everyone hugs, like a virtual hugs. Everyone who's saying they're confused, I'm giving you a hug and I'm letting you know that please be calm. You can still watch this video again and again. You're allowed to raise your hand to ask, where are you getting confused, teacher? Jan will love to answer that. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. May, can I help?
Ma'am, so I'm getting confused here by my answer. I got the answer of 6/4, so I don't know how that's going to be dividing into each other.
Okay, so then just simplify it as a fraction. So if you have your calculator, you can put 6/4 onto your calculator and it will simplify it to 3/2, or you can just simplify it like you would normally simplify a fraction.
Okay, thank you so much.
But you're going to keep it as a fraction, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you 1 more minute on this guy. And then we're going to try and, well, Unati is going to talk us through this one. Yes, Satsi, how can I help?
Satsi, I'm so
Yay.
happy.
Ma'am, right now at school, I'm doing vectorization of trinomials and solve for X for trinomials, but then I'm very confused about the graphs. I haven't done this at school yet.
Okay, that's fine. How many lessons have you, when was your first lesson with us at Watobe?
Ma'am, it's today.
Oh, it's today. Okay, well then it makes a lot of sense that you're feeling confused. No, that's okay. So this is lesson 4 of the graphs that we've done so far. And so if you're feeling lost, that's a very, very normal thing. So please don't be hard on yourselves. What I recommend you do is, if you have some time this weekend, if you can, and you don't have to watch them slowly, you can go through parts quite quickly if you were understanding, but try and watch the graph videos that we've done already. So lesson 1, 2, and 3. And then when I see you again on Tuesday, things will make a lot more sense in your head, I think. Because this is like jumping from 0 to like 30 in 40 minutes. And so of course it's feeling a bit scary for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Unati, we're all yours. Talk us through.
Okay, ma'am, so you're gonna use the formula m equals to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1.
Good.
And then, ma'am, so you're gonna put 0 minus 6.
Good. 0 minus -6. So that -6 needs to be in brackets.
Yes, ma'am. So
Okay.
it's going to be 6.
And then what's happening at the bottom?
Oh, it's going to be 0 minus and open bracket -4.
Beautiful. Okay, good. What does our next line look like?
Ma'am, is going to be 6/4.
Good. Okay, so guys, these two negatives and those two negatives are going to become positives. So that's going to become 6/4. And what does that simplify down to?
Ma'am, well, I got different answers. First, I got 3/2. Then I got 1.
1.5.
Yes.
Leave it as an improper. So leave it at this point over here.
And
Okay.
then, ma'am,
Yeah.
your last answer is going to be y equals to 3/2 minus 6 because of the y-intercept.
3/2x. Oh, you fell for my trap, Unati. My C value is not -6. You walked right into my trap.
Ma'am, what is it?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if someone else can figure out what my trap was. So the 3/2x is 100% right, but I see a little trap over here. So if you've written -6, then you have fallen for my trap. If you've not written -6, then I'm very curious to hear what you said. So Tracy, can you tell me what my y-intercept is?
Yes, ma'am. It's y equals 3/2x plus 0.
Yes, +0. Why is it +0?
Ma'am, because the dot is on the y intercept.
Yes, good. Nice job, Tracy. You did not fall for my trap. Well done. Okay, remember, they're gonna try and do stuff like this because they want you to fall for the trap, because you're gonna see a 0 and you're gonna think it can't be a 0. That's silly, but it is a 0. Okay, remember your y-intercept is where the line crosses your y-axis. So that's my y-intercept there, which is 0. So it would be y equals 3/2x plus 0. And you can leave it like that, or you could just say y equals 3/2x. Sneaky. It's a sneaky question.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. Let's try one more. But I'm actually going to... Let's try this one. Okay. So that's the last one I want you to try. And I'm just going to put in this value over here. And for those of you who are still feeling a little bit lost, I'm just going to write in some values. So x1 and x2. And remember, we're looking for y equals mx plus c. Tabile, don't panic. Don't panic. Try to do it step by step. Look for your m value first. I'm going to give you like a minute-ish, a minute and a half-ish, just because our time is running out. And then I'll go through this one with you. And then we can. And then tomorrow is Friday, guys. You're almost at the weekend. Almost in week 2 of term 3 this year.
Imagine. Soon enough, it will be Christmas time.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give you one more minute.
Shaden says, then we in grade 10. Yes.
Yeah, crazy, hey?
That's what's going to happen, Shaden.
And you're going to have to choose your subjects for grade 10 pretty soon, I think. Probably this term even, for some of you. Yeah, this term.
Ooh,
Brenda, how can I help? Oh, sorry, Brenda. I think that was me. I think I muted you. I'm sorry. Going rogue over here.
So Brenda, just click the little, there we go.
Hello.
I think I got the answer.
Okay, talk me through, Brenda. What am I going to do?
So ma'am, I said y equals mc plus c, mx, and I said m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Good.
And I said m equals -1 minus 3 over 2 minus 0.
Beautiful. So what did that give you?
M equals to -2.
Good. So -4 over 2, which means m is -2, 100%. Okay, so far we know that that m value is -2. What's my c value?
Ma'am, I didn't do that part.
Ah, you sneaky ninja. Let's see who can help Brenda out. Who can help Brenda? Who
Well
can tell me
done,
what my C
Brenda. Though.
value
Well
is here?
done.
Sinatemba, I don't think I've heard from you yet. Can you tell me what my C value is?
I think the C value is 3.
Yes,
Yes!
beautiful.
Woo,
Good.
people.
100%. Okay, so my equation, ooh, there we go. My equation is -2x plus 3, 2 marks for the -2, 1 mark for the 3. Give yourselves a pat on the back, guys. Very proud of you. You've come a long way in this hour.